what teams have the best chance to go from worst to first. We're going to talk about it today. Here's a peek at the AFC standings in 2024, looking at those 4 last place teams there, and then we flip on over to the NFC here. Of course, you got Saints, Giants, Niners, and Bears. So when you talk about worst to first, how common really is it? Here is a list of when it's happened in the past. It did not happen last year. There were no worst to firsts, but the previous 4 years before that, we had one every year, 2 of those being in that AFC South. But when you look at it, except for about a 3-year run there, 17 and 18, most of the worst to firsts end up being not great teams, so they take advantage of a bad division. So who do I think is the worst chance? I think it's the Browns here. The Browns are one of the worst teams in football, second to last in odds to win it all. Here's their odds to win the division, not good at all, plus 3,000. That's worse than some teams' odds to win the Super Bowl. And the 3 teams in front of them are all very, very good teams. So not only are the Browns one of the worst, but they're in one of the toughest divisions in football. I mean, the Ravens are Super Bowl contenders. The Bengals, if they ever figure out that defense, very well could be Super Bowl contenders. And the Steelers are really building something there with Rodgers. You never know, but there's no doubt about it. All 3 are better than the Browns. I give the Browns next to no chance to win this division. But who comes in next? This isn't the next worst team in my opinion, but it is the team with the next worst odds to go worst to first. It's the New York Giants. You can look at their odds here, same as the Browns, believe it or not. Giants are a better team than the Browns. But the Giants have a very, very tough division as well. I mean, the Commanders and Eagles are the class of the NFC. Those are that was the NFC title game last year. And the Cowboys, they're pretty good, you know? And the Giants' raw schedule is brutal on top of that, so that's why they fall down to this spot. But next up, though, surprisingly, is the worst team in football. In my opinion, this is the worst team, but they have the third to last odds to go worse the first. Why is that? To me, that is because of the division. The Panthers and Falcons, I don't think will be that great. They're kind of in between years before they maybe take a jump the next year. And the Bucks, while very good, they're still one of the weaker division leaders. So the Saints have an opportunity. The Saints also have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. They have an opportunity that if they really surprise us, who knows? You never know. I still give it next to zero chance, though. I don't believe in them. And I'm surprised their odds are this good to win the division. But next up, we have the Raiders, whose odds are actually worse than the Saints. But I'm just going to disagree with that. I think the Raiders take last this year, but they've made improvements. Picking up Carroll at coach, picking up Geno Smith at quarterback. They're putting foundational pieces in, and they're kind of stabilizing things. I think that tells me a team should do better this year. They should have less blow-up games. I think they have a better chance than these other 3 to go from worst to first. What holds them back is that division. That's why their odds are so low. It's a tough division. 3 playoff teams in front of them. Moving on, we have the Titans. Again, one of the lowest teams as far as Super Bowl odds, but their odds to win the division are not bad. Why is that? This is the weakest division in football. The Jags are kind of a mess, I guess. I don't really know what's going on in Jacksonville. It could say the same for the Colts. They don't know what they're doing at quarterback. A mediocre team, middle of the pack. And then the Texans, one of the weaker division leaders as well, very similar to the NFC South here. The Texans, very, very strong defense, but their offense, especially the O-line, struggled big time last year. If the Titans can surprise, Cam Ward can play lights out, who knows, maybe they have a chance. But now moving into the top 3, these are teams that have the best chance and honestly real chances to go from worst to first. First is Chicago Bears. Can Ben Johnson kind of revitalize this team and get them going offensively? Can he, instead of a sophomore slump, can Caleb Williams have a sophomore explosion? And I think it's possible with this new coaching staff. They have a lot of weapons, they have a lot of talent, and there's no excuses for them not to be better. And on top of that, this entire division faces a brutal schedule playing each other and the AFC North, but I think the Bears have one of the weakest of those schedules, so a decent chance for them to sneak up on teams and go from worst to first. And next up, it's the New England Patriots. So this is a team, again, their schedule really benefits them. One of the weakest schedules in the entire league. And their odds to win the division reflect on that. They're decent for a team that took last year. The only thing in front of them is maybe the best team in football, the Buffalo Bills. So you're like, well, I don't really see them going worst to first. Yeah, I agree. But they're one Josh Allen injury away from first, because the Jets are a bit of a mess right now, and the Dolphins are kind of self-imploding, and there's no chance Tua stays healthy. So look out for the Patriots. They got a pretty solid chance, but the best chance obviously lies with the Niners. If you look here, I'm not sure how dated these are. I don't know if they're a month old or super recent, but one way or another, they seem to be favored actually to win the NFC West. And part of that is to their absolute joke of a schedule. It's pretty bad, y'all. It's pretty bad. Outside of their division, their toughest games are like Tampa Bay and Houston, which are like two of the weakest division leaders, as I've already mentioned. So Niners have all the opportunity in the world. The only thing that stands between them and first place is, can they stay healthy? And they lost some pieces. The new ones they pick up really help. We'll see. The Rams are who they'll be competing with there. But let me know what y'all think. Worst to first. It's not something that is guaranteed to happen. Like you saw, it did not happen last season. And, frankly, I don't know if I see it happening this season. I definitely am not going to predict any of these to go from worst to first, but Niners obviously do have the best chance. I just don't know if I fully trust them yet. So we will see. And we're also coming up here soon, we're going to talk about first to worst, which first place teams from last season are in the greatest danger of plummeting down to last place in the division. So again, let me know what y'all think, and thanks for watching.